In this video, I want to talk about a very important phenomena that occurs in traditional martial arts schools, maybe even modern martial arts schools, but my main experience is with traditional Kung Fu schools. So that's what I'm going to talk about. And it's the prevalence of martial arts cults, or schools that are very, very cult-like. So I'm sure most of you know what cults are. You know, we often associate cult-like behavior with religions or spiritual traditions, you know. But cults are everywhere, yeah? Groupings of people with a charismatic leader who demands complete obedience and control over their students or their members. So most martial arts schools are, you know, pretty good. It's a school you go to, you learn, everyone's happy, everyone's trying to make themselves better. But there are signs that you should look out for to see if you're in a martial arts cult. And here are some of the signs. So the first sign is at the top of the school or at the top of the organization, there is a leader, a teacher, a master who is never wrong. Yeah, who is someone that you, if you disagree with, you are basically blaspheming. Yeah, and this master is often surrounded by lower level instructors or seniors who enforce this. Yeah, they enforce this mentality of how dare you question the master? What do you know? How dare you? And often, you know, fair enough, if you're questioning the actual martial art that you're going to learn, fine, you can make an argument for this person is much more experienced than you, then actually just listen and learn, you know. But often in these martial arts cults, you have this master who has an opinion on everything, you know, even outside of their own area of expertise, which is that martial art. So they will talk matter of fact about politics. They will talk matter of fact about people's eating habits, talk matter of fact about sexuality. And if you disagree, you are blaspheming and you are shunned. And being shunned often involves being completely character assassinated, for example, you know, in front of your fellow students, maybe not being taught, maybe, you know, the teacher or the seniors withdrawing their teaching from you. This is all very common in martial arts cults. Another sign that you're in a martial arts cult is your school has no links with any of the other schools in the local community, yeah, in the area. So for example, my school's in London in the United Kingdom, and in London, United Kingdom, you know, there's many different Kung Fu schools, many Tai Chi schools, many Qigong schools, many karate, you know, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools. But if I isolate myself, tell my students don't take part in competitions, inter-club competitions or nationals, whatever, because we are the best and nobody else understands us. Or the common thing is we don't take part in competitions because we did so many years ago and we hit so hard we got disqualified. So we just do our own competitions now. This is another sign you're in a martial arts cult, yeah? The reason for the lack of involvement in local communities and in links with other martial arts schools is because of the insecurity of the head instructor, the insecurity of the the person in charge of the organization. They don't want to have their methods looked at by other people. They don't want their students to be influenced by other teaching methods, which may often be a lot more relaxed, may often be a lot nicer. So for me, this is a red flag, you know, if your school is not involved with other schools, if they have no links with the wider martial arts community. Another sign you're in a martial arts cult is if you are encouraged not to read books. You know, if you are told, don't read this book, don't read this book, don't read this book, don't read this master, don't read this teacher's book, don't read that teacher's book, because they've all got it wrong. We've got the secret. Yeah, the books will just take your practice and get you to go in the wrong direction. This is another red flag. You're in a martial arts cult. Obviously, there are books, there are teachers, there are teachings which are counter to what you're doing. So, for example, if a student comes to me and says, I'm going to read this book, or I'm reading this book at the moment, and if I think that's actually detrimental to their practice or detrimental to them, because there's a lot of waffle out there, we all know, I won't say to them, no, don't read that, don't read that. I would say to them, yeah, read it, learn, but just take it with a pinch of salt, you know? Don't take everything as gospel. Limiting people from reading, limiting people from learning, this is all cult behavior. This is all, we have the one truth, nobody else has the truth, so don't waste your time reading or learning about other things. Another sign that you're in a martial arts cult is if somebody leaves the organization or somebody is asked to leave the organization, everybody else is told to not communicate with that person, to shun that person, and if they don't, they can also leave. Or they're going to have teaching withdrawn from them. This is all cult behavior. This is all, it comes from such an insecure place. It comes from the fear of losing this status that you think you have, you know, as a teacher, but you're so insecure about your status that any influence from the outside will damage that for you. So yeah, avoid these kinds of schools. It's very obvious very quickly when you go into these kinds of schools what they're like. You know, the students are all quite tense. They're all too afraid to speak. They're too afraid to joke. They're too afraid to express how they're feeling. You know, express what their view is on the training, because if they know if it's not in line with what the accepted thing is within that school, then they will be looked down on, you know, or shunned. Another sign that you're in a martial arts cult is if your school has gradings, if they have ranks and levels. To go through these ranks and levels, you must buy this course, or you must attend this seminar, or you won't be promoted. Yeah, this gradings and promotions and going up in rank should be solely based on your skill level. Nothing else. Nothing else. It should be based on your skill level. Are you at the level to pass the requirements that that school sets to go to the next grade, to learn the next thing? Not how much money you've paid, not how many seminars you've attended. This is cult behavior, you know? This is just, it's just about money making from students. And yes, a lot of martial arts schools are businesses, and they need to, you know, pay the rent, pay the expenses, but this is not the way. This is not the way. You don't promote a student based on their attendance of seminars or their attendance of courses or how much money they've paid. This is immoral behavior in my view, and it's cult behavior. These are just a few signs that you're in a martial arts cult. I'm sure there's so many more. I just can't think of any right now. But maybe you can. Maybe you're part of a cult and you can write, or you've been part of a cult and you can just write in the comments some experiences you've had, and that might help other people as well who are maybe currently involved in a martial arts school that's like that, or who are looking for martial arts schools and they know what to avoid, what to look out for. Harmful, toxic people are everywhere, and just because they have achieved a certain skill level in martial arts or in spiritual practice does not make what they're saying and what they're doing the right thing. It does not. Often people get to a level, and because they haven't dealt with themselves in their foundation training, because they haven't dealt with their own heart and their own mind, whether it's being power hungry, whether it's sexual deviance, whether it's other childhood traumas, these things will come out, and because they've got the mask of a master or a teacher, it will be more accepted by the followers until it completely destroys the mental health, the physical health, and the actual path of the followers. Avoid these people at all costs.